Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. Today I'll be interviewing Fabiola Serra. Let's get started. First, who or what inspired you to pursue STEM?
Hi, Julia. Let's see. So I wanted to be a veterinarian since I was a little girl. So I always wanted, I was always interested on science and the natural world, and I was always playing outside. I grew up in a big city. So for me, being outside, playing in the park and things like that, it was a main thing. So then in school, I was encouraged by different teachers, how it's like, oh, she likes to do experiments. Let's keep on doing that. And even though when I was in high school, and that's the time that you start deciding, oh, what do I want to work on? What is going to be my career path and things like that. I'm good at numbers. So I was encouraged to study engineer before I study medicine. So I thought, oh, well, I'll give it a try, but it was not my thing. So I went back to my original idea of, no, I want to be a veterinarian. So it was always, I will say, my blood. I always wanted to do that.
What is an obstacle that you encountered in STEM and how did you overcome it?
Okay, so obstacles. I don't know if I would call it obstacles, but things that are different challenges, or I will say, yeah, it's just different than some people. Is, for example, I work with agricultural manners for a lot of time, and usually it's some male. Uh, there's more males in that field, so a lot of times when I got to the field and I start working, they will ask, okay, so where's the doctor? And I'm like, that's me. A lot of times I have to prove myself since ever. I grew up with only brothers. My cousins are boys, and my best friends are boys, and my neighbors, I only had boys. And so I grew up never thinking that I was any different, but then when you are out of your, circle, your bubble, then it's like people start treating you different. It's like, no, I am the same as everybody else. Why am I being requested to ask things that are different? For example, even in the pay portion of working with animals, I do mostly large animals. I did mostly large animals. So it's like my counterpart. He had the same responsibilities than me, same training, same everything, and he was making at least 25% more than me. And when I asked, they said to me, oh, it's because he has a family to take care of. And it's like, what and what happens to me? I am the same way. So society usually tends to see things a little bit different. So for me, the biggest challenge is always to think on, okay, when do I need to say, no, this is not right? And some other things, it's like, okay, it's just a cultural thing. I'm not going to fight it. It's not a big deal. But learning your position and your worth is very, very, very important, because that's what you need to transmit constantly. Mhm.
What is a strength you found being a woman in STEM?
Oh, that nothing stops you, because because once you know that there are many ways that you can find a solution, there are many ways, either with different connections or friends, or there are many ways to solve a problem. Really, nothing can stop you.
What advice do you have for young women interested in pursuing a STEM career?
Go for it. Go for it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Sometimes, we can have different goals. Like, for example, for me, I love science. I teach science. This is something that I live every day, right? But at the same time, I'm an artist. I dance, and I'm a fitness instructor. I love to do my Zumba classes and high intensity classes. I direct a dance group, like 3 dance groups and a dance studio. I mean, so you don't need to be focused on the one thing, but just keep trying. And not because you want one, you have to leave the other one alone. You can always grow in all of your aspects in your life. So just go for it.
Yeah. What do you see for the future of women in STEM?
I am very positive. So I hope there is more and more equality. I'm not saying like let's take it over because, because I think everything should be 50-50, and we should, and we should not let any obstacle stop us. Obstacles are there to learn from them. So just let's learn. Okay, maybe that was not the right way to do it. Maybe I should do a different path. Or like when you're doing an experiment and you don't get the results that you expected, it's like, okay, just do it again and see what happens. You know, just keep going.
Yeah. And finally, Zumba is part of your life, STEM is part of your life. How have the two interacted with each other and had an impact on each other?
I never thought it wasn't a thing. I mean, it's like, because for me, music is part of my life. I don't conceive a life without music. I don't know if anybody can actually live without music because it's in the radio, and for me music and movement goes together. So even when I am, like, let's say, imagine me in a lecture, I am in front of 100 students, because that's kind of the size of my lectures. So I'm in an auditorium and I'm in a class. So from those 100 students, can you imagine how many of them are semi-sleep when I'm talking about the mitochondria or cellular respiration? Because not all of them are super interested in the topic. So then you bring up a move, like the running man, or you the shuffle, and then they're like, oh, she's a human, that kind of thing. So, and with Zumba, what happens with Zumba is that working out, getting your energy up, and getting your endorphins up, it definitely makes you feel great to begin with. So if you have that attitude with the Zumba classes, and then you mix it with science, with whatever you're working on, like it could be teaching, it could be in a clinic. Well, those are the things that I do, right? If you transport that good vibe and good energy that Zumba gives you, the working out gives you, then the other person, the receiver of the conversation, the counterpart of what you are participating, is going to feel that back. So then it's not just you feeling good, you're making somebody else feeling good just by having a good smile.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today.
Thank you, Julia, and thank you for all the work you're doing. That is amazing.
Okay.